Jerry, welcome to NEF. Finally. Several years in the talks, finally making it happen. Co-main event tomorrow night, sold out crowd, you versus Anthony Vasta, putting your undefeated record on the line. Talk a little bit about this fight and how it came together and how you see it going tomorrow night.
Yeah, so it's been a long time in the making. We've been trying to do the fights for a while. And, I have never been like fully all in on the fighting. It's definitely something I enjoy. It's a test like any martial artist. You go out there and you compete. So I'm super happy and super excited to be here up in Portland finally to fight in front of the man fans. I have had more time to do some stuff on social media to pump it up and get people excited about the fight. We do have some, as far as fighting Anthony Vasta, I'm super excited. The kid is a tough kid. He's fought a lot of tough guys, and he doesn't back down from a challenge. So, and I feel like that's something we both share, even though we're both not undefeated. We both don't back down from a challenge. And some people might be overlooking this kid, but I'm not. I think he's a tough kid, and I think it's going to be a good fight. And as far as what to expect something exciting. I don't just come here to win. I come here, to really, make a statement.
And put on a show.
That's
what you're famous for, too, is not just being entertaining in your performances inside the cage, but the lead up, everything. In terms of your walkouts and so forth. You have something special planned for us tomorrow night that we're trying to pull off?
I do have something special for the walkout, and I have some special guests coming. I did, I've checked with the commission and everything. I've even looked at the venue. I've done my reconnaissance, so to say, in the Army. I've done my recon, and I have a good idea of what we are going to be capable of doing for the walkout, and we have some alternate and contingency plans just in case.
I'd be remiss, too, if I didn't thank you for your service, truly.
Oh, thank you. It's an honor.
Thank you. And it's interesting to me. You really strike me in all our conversations over the years, as a very cerebral fighter. I've always been curious what drives you to want to compete because, like you just said earlier, you've never been all in. You've had breaks, but when you get in, you win. That's what you do really consistently. What is it about for you? And if you were, are you all in at this point? And what's the forecast look like looking ahead?
So like you said, the key is, you actually said it in the question, is the consistency. So although I haven't been fighting consistently, I've always been training and preparing. And I don't necessarily train as a MMA fighter. I train to be dangerous as a person because that translates into being a soldier. If you're dangerous, it makes you a better soldier. But also if you're dangerous, it makes you a better MMA fighter. Because if you look at my Instagram, I do nunchucks, I do the Kali. I haven't really posted anything with my shooting or any marksmanship skills, with a gun, just because I didn't know if that was allowed or if people would get triggered by that. But I'm pretty good with a gun too. And so I train a lot of different things, and that carries over. And I think that consistency of being a dangerous person translates over. In martial arts, it teaches you to be capable of harming somebody, but it also teaches you discipline and being able to control that. One thing I tell younger guys that are oh, you're a tough MMA fighter. You ever go to a bar and somebody gives you a hard time and you whoop them? And I'm always no, I always laugh because one of the Gracie brothers, the grandsons of Helio, Henner, and I forget the other one's name, but Hedon. Yeah, he said. There's a lot of times you're battling two opponents. The guy at the bar's heckling you, calling you a wimp. He's your external enemy. And the internal enemy is your ego inside telling you, just whoop this guy, And a lot of times it's much harder to defeat the internal enemy than the external enemy, especially when you're a dangerous person. And so, everybody has to battle with that. And, that's kind of how I look at the fight. Even the nerves when you're coming in, you know what I mean? That's your... as a lot of the fighters are I don't care if my arm gets broke, I don't care if I get hurt in there, I just want to win. And I don't want to lose in front of everybody. But the losing it in front of everybody, that's just your ego talking. Really, you just have to go in there and let go of that. And then when you can let go of that, you'll really see that you can perform better. And I think I've been able to do that.
I love that. We were talking about it earlier with your opponent, Anthony Vasta, that his record doesn't really reflect his skill level. He had a very short, only 2 amateur fights before he turned pro. He's faced some tough opponents as a pro. when you break it down, when you look at him, like you said, you think he's a tough kid. How do you see the fight going? Where do you see it playing out? And what's your prediction? I mean, you've had some fantastic finishes. You twisted someone, super unusual, so rare. How do you see this fight going tomorrow night?
Is he going to be able to see this before the fight?
He is. Yes, he is.
Oh, I can't reveal my tactics before the fight.
Fair enough. Can we speak generally about it then?
If we can speak generally, I'm not coming here to just win. I'm coming here to win in impressive fashion. And that's what you're going to see tomorrow night. And that's all I'm looking to see. I'd rather lose, right, than win a boring decision. And I think that'll be like the downfall too. You know, with I think in my fight career, it's like I'm coming here for more of the performance than the victory of the MMA fight. But for me, they kind of go one and the same, if that makes sense. Like if I don't have the performance that I wanted, then I kind of lost, whether if I win a decision or not. That's something crew Mark Delagrotti, who trains me, was telling me about. He's like, hey, as you climb the ladder and these guys get better and better, he's like, you're going to have to taking this stuff seriously. You can't go tap dancing on Thursdays. And he's just like, these guys at the UFC are legit. So, but I was like, we'll cross that bridge if we get there.